Hey guys, and welcome to another Q&A. This one is a really special one that I definitely didn't think I was going to be reaching this quickly. This is my 500,000 subscriber Q&A, which is just insane. Like at New Year, I was aiming for 100,000 subscribers this year, and now I'm on 500,000, and it's crazy, and I could not have done it without you guys. So thank you so much. I said I was going to do like a Q&A to celebrate, so you guys could ask me questions and just basically say thank you guys so much. Like all the Pokemon Go fans, all the Skyrim fans, any of you guys that like my vlog content, like just thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and for supporting me. It means so much, especially since doing YouTube full time was obviously a really big scary step. And then getting things like the 500 subscriber milestone makes me feel more confident in my decision. So thank you guys so much. That was a rubbish heart. Look, that one's better. That one's better. So I asked you guys what you want me to answer this Q&A on my, I think it was on one of the Skyrim series videos, and also on Twitter. I've pulled in some of your questions. Some of you guys asked questions that I've actually answered in previous Q&A videos. So stuff like how did Ali and I meet, when did Ali and I start going out, all this kind of thing. I actually answered in previous Q&As. So if you look back, you probably get answers to questions in a Q&A that I've done in the past that I'm not going to be answering this time. So have a look back through my channel. These questions are all going to be new questions. So here are the questions that you guys asked. So number one, Haley1773. Hello Haley, I know I talk to you a lot on Twitter. She has quite a few questions. I picked the one which was, what is your favorite Disney film of all time? As a kid, I always liked the animal Disney films, so I loved The Lion King, I loved Jungle Book, but I also really liked Mulan as well. I think that's the only like Christmas Disney princess video that I really liked. Like I love Mulan. So yeah, I probably would say The Lion King. Like The Lion King is probably the best Disney movie ever. As a kid, the film Beauty and the Beast scared me so much. Like me and my brother used to hide behind the sofa during the beginning scene because we get so scared when like she's breaking in, she's trying to get her dad out of the Beast's house and she's like getting chased through the forest. It was really scary. But they're remaking Beauty and the Beast. It's got Hermione Granger. Well, she obviously isn't Hermione Granger. She's in the film, and it looks like they've just remade the original Disney like animated movie, and that looks amazing. I really want to go see that. I'm probably going to be scared all over again though. So Mitchell4686 asks, what's your PC specs? So I actually have a video which goes through my whole setup, my PC, my monitor, my mouse, my keyboard, my headphones, everything. And in that I also have my new PC. So my PC is actually like a customized PC. If you look at my banner, I've got Darcy and Oliver as like cute little cartoons that I drew in Photoshop. They are actually on the side of the PC. If you check that video, you can find out all the specs of my PC. I'll also put a link in my description below. It's kindly sent to me by Dino PC, and the specs are identical except from I've updated the graphics card. So I now have an NVIDIA GeForce 1060 6GB graphics card, which obviously makes stuff like Skyrim, if I'm playing it on PC with all the mods, run so much smoother. And yeah, I absolutely love my PC. So Lorix asks, how long have you and Ali been together? So our 2-year anniversary will be, I think it's the 13th of June. So it's like right in the middle of E3. We will have been together for 2 years. Right now we're on like what, like a year and a half? So that's how long we've been together so far. Amy Wilson 2711 asks, what is your favorite Pokemon from Gen 2? So my last Pokemon video, I said that obviously the Gen 2 Pokemon, we now know that in the game. They're just kind of not finalized and switched on yet. I said that I was going to do a video of the 5 Pokemon from Gen 2 that I'm looking forward to most. I still plan to do that video, so the answer to that, I guess, will be number 1 in that top 5 video. So look out for that to get the answer to that question. So Ash OCR asks, what has been the hardest part of going YouTube full time? So I think for me, the hardest part is time management. So when you work a full-time job, you're used to kind of getting up at 7 a.m. because you have to arrive at work at like 9 a.m. in the morning, and that's kind of like your standard routine. When you are at home and you're kind of trying to motivate yourself and work for yourself, it's actually quite a lot harder to force yourself to get up at that time and to say it like, oh, it's 1 a.m. I definitely need to go to bed or else I'm not going to wake up tomorrow morning. It's much easier to slip into the routine of staying up late and getting up late. We can't do that because we've got 2 cats to feed, which will be pretty annoyed if we don't feed them first thing in the morning. But also we've got Evie, and we like to give Evie a morning walk and usually an evening walk. It's so dark now that it's like a late afternoon walk. And we can't do that if we don't get up in time, which means that she's not going to get her toilets done and she's going to be crazy during the day. And we just have to stick to that routine, but it is so much harder to stick to. So I'd say that's probably the most difficult part of doing YouTube full time. And then on a really similar note, Unknown Cookies. I like that Twitter handle. But Unknown Cookies asks, is YouTube harder than your Xbox job? I'd say it's different. It's harder in different ways. So the Xbox job was obviously it was a really fun and exciting job, but it was also a difficult job, especially around events like E3, Gamescom. It was very go, games launches. And there's a lot of conference calls and needing to know the answers to lots of things and understand a really broad depth of material. So that makes it quite difficult. YouTube's a lot more focused, but it's also can be just as hard in similar ways. So coming up with ideas for videos for the channel, making sure that you are in a really good frame of mind and happy and energetic when you're recording. That's obviously something that's difficult to do consistently. So I'd say they're both hard, but I guess the advantage of doing YouTube is I get to play video games during the day, which you can't really do as much at Xbox, so that definitely gives it the edge. So Tiresome Jamie asks, what is the most annoying thing about Ali? Well, there's so many to choose from.
Good joke.
Ali and I actually get on really well. He doesn't really annoy me that much at all. However, Ali has really, really bad hearing. It's probably from years of having his headphones on and Call of Duty play.
There's hours of driving in my car blasting music.
And the engine noise too. I was actually going through these questions earlier on and I said to Ali, oh, I'm going to include this one. And he's like, oh, what are you going to say? I'm going to say that you're deaf. That's what's most annoying. And he didn't hear me say that. He was like, what? What did you say?
Not even lying. She was like, I'm going to say you're deaf. I'm like, what?
What's
dead?
that?
I'm not
What's
dead.
That? You have really bad hearing.
Yeah, I genuinely think I've screwed up my ears from too much gaming at loud volumes.
And if we're walking Evie, if I walk in front of you and I'm just talking away and then you'll catch up with me and you won't have heard a word I've said.
Yeah, but you're standing in front, the voice is going that way and I'm behind.
You...
Just shout if you ever meet me, you want to say something.
He's pretty deaf. Yeah, if you meet him in real life and you think he's ignoring you, he's just deaf. He's just deaf.
What can I say?
So Frizzy asks, what first-person shooter have you played the most? I'd say the first-person shooter that I've definitely played the most was Modern Warfare 2 on Xbox 360. It's the first Call of Duty game that I properly got into, and it's the game that I would just play every single evening, either by myself or with a group of friends, and we would just play all the time, just ground war and domination and all the time, and I still absolutely love that game. But I used to be okay at Call of Duty then. I'm definitely not great at Call of Duty now. I just get vexed playing it now. But Modern Warfare 2 is definitely the first person shooter I've put the most hours into. Probably by quite a long way as well. So Shiny Hunter 48 asks, how has your recording style changed from when you first started YouTube to where you are today? So I think there's 2 quite big changes that I think I've made. One is that I know how to project my voice and I'm a bit more confident when I record now. If I look back at my old videos, I was like, hi guys, I'm Clare. I'm gonna play this game. And I just was so quiet and whispery and I didn't talk that much. And I was just really, really nervous. I wasn't a hugely confident person. YouTube's definitely helped me get more confident. And I just felt silly trying to record. And as a result, I just came across as this really quiet little mouse.
And then she realised how much I shouted in my videos and she's like, screw this, I'm shouting too.
And now I shout all the time. Yeah, I think I've definitely got better at communicating with you guys and more comfortable in front of the camera, which I think is a good thing. The second thing is when I first played, I had so much less focus. I would upload way more infrequently, so I can just kind of play and play and play and play and then just go through 4 hours of footage to find little 2-minute segments that were okay. I did that for the Advanced Warfare Rage video. Was that Advanced Warfare? I think it was. I just played for hours and hours and hours and then had these huge files to try and turn into a video. I did it for Elder Scrolls Online as well, and I was trying to do that around a full-time job. That was when I actually lived in London but worked at Reading for Xbox. So I travel 2 hours in a morning, work all day, travel 2 hours back at night. It would be 8 p.m. And then I would play something like Elder Scrolls for 4 or 5 hours finish at like 1 a.m. and then either just start editing then and get up the next day and go to work, or edit the night after and just have like 5 hours of footage to try and sift through. It's not a good way to record. It resulted in me being really, really tired and just kind of like a bit of a zombie. So I know that's not the best way to do things now. I am more focused now and I know what I want to get out of my recordings. So they're the two ways I think I've matured the most on YouTube. So Ashley Gistry, it's a hard to say name, asks, what are you looking forward to most in 2017? So I'd say there's two things I'm looking forward to quite a lot. So number one is that we want to go away a little bit more next year. So New York is definitely on the horizon as a trip that we really want to make. We did want to go like to like Thailand or Bali or something this year. I said that I wanted to like go east to like Japan or somewhere there. That hasn't happened. Like, we're pretty close to the end of the year now. I don't think we're going to fit that in. But I would like to try and like push that into next year. That's something I'd really like to do. So traveling is one thing. And then the second thing is that hopefully next year Evie can get a little doggy companion. Evie was, obviously she's both of our dogs equally, but it was my choice to get that breed. I kind of picked Evie out. But if we ever to get another dog, it's Ali that will pick the dog out. He'll pick the breed and which doggy we're getting. So it will be his decision when we get that dog, I guess, as well. Fingers crossed it's gonna be next year, because I just love dogs and I want another one. So Alex WH Miller, oh my god, I'm losing my pronunciation, asks, what is your biggest motivator in life? I would 100% say the thing that I'm motivated most by is kind of like the family and the people that I love. That's the biggest reason for me wanting to do YouTube full time, is so that I could spend more time at home with Ali and Evie and the kitty cats, and just the more time I can spend with them, the happier I am. Also just my extended family as well. Like, I'm very, very family. I don't know if it's an Irish thing, but we're all very, very like family orientated, and definitely spending as much time and making the people in my family as happy as I can is the most important thing to me. And especially our little, Evie's just sat on Ollie's chair going round and round. Especially our little family unit, like the Clare, Ali, Doggy, kitty cat unit is like the most important thing in the world to me. So that's my biggest motivator in life. I don't know if it's cute or lame.
Of course it's cute. It's the cutest thing ever.
So HMAR29 asks, what kind of music do you like to listen to? I'm going to leave a link in the description below to my SoundCloud. I don't actually update it as much as I used to, but all the music that I like is on my SoundCloud account. I share, or I like the music that I like on there. So if you check my profile, you will see all of that. Ali and I have a fairly similar music taste. So a lot of the stuff he likes, I like, but I'll drop my SoundCloud in the description so you guys can check it out too. Let me know what you think, and if you think that I'm gonna like any of the music that you guys like, then let me know in the comments below. So Mike Sewell asks, PC or console? I know that the obvious answer here is to say, oh, I love PC gaming, and if I say console, it sounds like I'm being fake because I used to work for Xbox, but I honestly think it depends on what I'm playing. So if I'm playing like Skyrim, especially if any game I'm playing by myself, I'm not recording, I like to play on PC because I just feel a little bit more focused, like it's almost like my little bubble. But if I'm playing with friends or I'm playing like anything online, I prefer to play on console. I like using a controller. So stuff like Destiny and Forza, obviously I like to play on console. We actually have a Nintendo Wii U. It's a Wii U, right?
Yeah.
Set up downstairs, and that's when console gaming is at its best, when you've got loads of friends around and you're like playing like Smash together, or you're playing Mario Party, or like if you go real back to the N64, stuff like Pokemon Stadium, which I absolutely love that game. Those kind of games are best playing console. So I don't have a preference. It is whatever the game feels best on is what I prefer to play it on. So Regarrett13 asks, what was your first experience of Skyrim? So I didn't actually play the previous Elder Scrolls game. Skyrim was my entry to the series. And I can remember just being on YouTube and seeing the advert for Skyrim, the real life Skyrim advert, where the guy's kind of walking through this village and they're all screaming and running away. It's like a fort. And he just walks out with the sword and the horns, and he's like, just goes up against this dragon. I was like, I need to play this game. I drove out on launch day to my supermarket, and like, I ran inside and like grabbed the game, thinking that, oh my god, it's gonna sell out so fast. And like, there's just loads of people just milling around, like not interested in the game at all, just like buying carrots and stuff. But I really wanted to get the game, and then I sat home and just played it. Like, it was in 3rd year of uni as well. I just played it so much. I was completely obsessed with it. After I'd like played it loads on 360, I actually picked up Oblivion Game of the Year edition. But I think if you go to a later game in the series and then try and play an earlier game, it can feel really old. It just doesn't feel like as fluid and nice, and it can feel quite difficult to play. I definitely felt that about Mass Effect 1 after starting on Mass Effect 2. I do still love Mass Effect 1, but the controls definitely feel a little bit more clunky. The same as Fable 1. The remastered Fable doesn't feel as nice as Fable 2 and 3 feel to play. So I never fully finished Oblivion, but that was my first entry into the Skyrim series. I know that Oblivion has been modded, and it looks pretty amazing on PC, but I think modding Skyrim is enough for me right now. And yeah, that was my first experience of Skyrim, and it definitely ignited like a full-on love for that game. So Joshua Sponsel asks, what do you use to capture and edit? If it's console, I have like a HDMI splitter and I use my Elgato 60, HD 60. That's what captures everything on my console. If I'm on my PC, I use, I think it's GeForce Experience. I just press Alt and F9. And the NVIDIA software will capture whatever is on my PC screen. The audio isn't perfect, but it's a really easy solution. And then I use a Logitech, I think it's a C90 webcam to capture my face. I use my Blue Snowball here to capture my my audio. If I'm doing any vlog stuff, then I use my Canon 550D, which is what I'm recording on right now. So that's my like setup software, that's what I use. And then I use Premiere Pro to edit everything together. And then the final question is by Vandriel, who asks, if Bethesda decided to release a new Elder Scrolls, what would you like the story to be based on? And then he also says, keep up the good work. Thank you for that. So I would actually like the next Elder Scrolls to be set in Valenwood. So Valenwood is where the Bosmer, the Wood Elves are from. And if Skyrim is, I mean, it has lush, nice areas, but Skyrim tends to be kind of quite bleak. It's quite cold. It's kind of mountainous, like cold, snowy wastelands. Valenwood is a little bit different. So Valenwood is very green. It's basically a huge forest. There's rainforesty areas, and that is where the Wood Elves live. And I think they even live on like these trees that like move through the forest. Like they have like towns and cities on moving trees. And it basically just sounds like a really lush green rainforesty area. Very different from Skyrim. And whilst I loved Skyrim, I think it'd be really nice to see a game set in a new place and something also set around the Bosmer, around the Wood Elves, because they are a really interesting race. They've got some really interesting quirks, like they only eat meat, they're not allowed to harm like trees and plants and that kind of thing, so they're really interesting. I would like a game set around that. So that's all the questions for my 500 Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the questions that I answered. Thank you again so much for the 500,000 subscribers. It's insane that I've reached that point, and I couldn't have done it without you guys, so thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!